Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantakum Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sadrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamascha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatyadesh Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Premangadayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Kartushe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripasindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namostute Vyasa-vishala-buddhe Pullaravindayatapatra-netre Yena tvaya bharatataila-purnaha Prajvalito jnanamaya-pradipaha Prapanna-parijataya Totra-vaitraika-panaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gita-amrita-duhe. We're going to start a new chapter today, chapter 16 of Bhagavad-gita, the divine and demoniac natures. In the previous chapter, Lord Krishna spoke about the method of escaping the material world is through the knowledge given in the Vedas. Krishna is here talking about the engagement of the jiva in material world or material nature, prakriti. So it is also important to understand now the psychology of the conditioned souls. So chapter 16, it talks about the psychology, the divine and demoniac nature. What is nature? Nature is a person's psychology. So two kinds of psychologies are there. One is divine, the other is demonic. So about them, their characteristics, their nature, we'll get good description here in this chapter, chapter 16. Fine. Let's have a quick look back. What is the first root of the upside down banyan tree? The first root.
Brahmaloka.
The first root is Brahmaloka. What is the first quality to qualify entering spiritual world, spiritual abode?
Nirmana.
Nirmana, free from false pride. Does the Lord help us in forgetting Him? Yes or no?
Yes, bro. Yes.
Yes. So the link between chapter 15 and 16 is that Uh, in this chapter, Lord Krishna describes the fruit of the banyan tree. Of course, fruits were mentioned in the previous chapter purport, one of the purports. Prabhupada said, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. These are the fruits of the tree of material life. But here, in other perspective, the fruits are described as uh, good qualities or divine qualities and demonic qualities or bad qualities. So the divine qualities are the good fruits and the demonic qualities are the bad fruits. The good fruits, if you eat them, it will cause liberation. And the bad fruits, if you eat them, it will cause bondage. So, verse number 1 to 9, they talk about the divine qualities. And to some extent, demonic are also mentioned. So, divine qualities. What are the divine qualities? Krishna mentions them in verses 1 to 3. In total, he mentions 26 qualities. These are known as Devi Sampada. Sampada means property or wealth, isn't it? In Hindi, they say Sampatti. So Devi Sampada, um, divine property or divine wealth. And these fruits are born of the mode of goodness. Fine. Total 26 in number. And these qualities have also been mentioned elsewhere in Bhagavad-gita. Repetition is there in the entire Bhagavad-gita about the different good qualities. However, here in the purport, Srila Prabhupada again gives an explanation to each one of the quality. And he very nicely explains what are these qualities, how they can be cultivated. Fine. So let's read the verse now. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Abhayang Sattva Sangshuddhir Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi Danam Damascha Yagyascha Swadhyayastapa Ajavam Ahimsa Satyama Krodhas Tyagah Shantirapaishunam Daya Bhuteshu Aloluptvang Madhavam Hir Achapalam Teja Shamadriti Shaucham Adroho Natimanita Bhavanti Sampadam Deving Abhijatasya Bharata. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. Abhijatasya Bharata. One is born with these divine qualities. Fine. Divine personality is born with divine qualities. So it's a very nice purport. Let's once look at few of the sections of the purport and then we'll read through the entire purport. Importance. All these 26 qualifications mentioned are transcendental qualities. They should be cultivated according to the different statuses of social and occupational order. The purport is that even though material conditions are miserable, if these qualities are developed by practice, by all classes of men, then gradually it is possible to rise to the highest platform of transcendental realization. Now, I have a question to ask you. These are said to be transcendental qualities. So, how can someone who is not transcendental possess qualities which are transcendental? These are transcendental qualities. So, how can someone who is not transcendental possess qualities which are transcendental?
Through the medium of association and service to a pure duty.
So, if you achieve those qualities, then do you immediately become transcendental?
No, gradually progress.
Gradually. Can tolerance be both a material quality and a spiritual quality?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, yes.
Can you give an explanation how?
If the tolerance used for our sense gratification, it is material.
Like example?
For ex- I'll just I'll take one.
Yeah, think about it.
In slaughterhouse shops also, we have to wait for in a long queue, and there
In,
also slaughterhouses.
okay, very good. Very good. Very good. Excellent. All right. So you can say slaughterhouse, you can say a PVR, you can say whatever, So you have to stand for a long queue, in a long queue, and that's sense gratification, isn't it?
Yes,
Correct, isn't it?
correct.
So you tolerate. Or if you live in Mumbai, Prabhu,
No, Prabhu, I am Gujarat.
you don't live in Mumbai. If you live in Mumbai, then you can give example of traveling local train. You tolerate a lot, no, in
Correct,
local
Prabhu.
trains,
Yes,
but that is just for material sense gratification, isn't it?
correct.
Right?
Yes, Prabhu.
So tolerance can be a material quality, and tolerance can also be a spiritual
Spiritual.
quality.
If we were, sorry,
Correct?
Prabhu, if we wait in the railway station for the train to go to temple for some service,
Then,
it is spiritual.
then it then it is spiritual. But let's say you are waiting in the railway station to get the local train because you want to go to the
To go
pub,
for
to the bar,
stop.
and you are
Yeah,
very patiently waiting for the train. So then that tolerance or that patience is material quality, isn't it? Right or
yes,
wrong? Right?
yes,
So here, Prabhupada, when he says these qualities are transcendental qualities, we should know that these qualities can also, some of these qualities can also be material qualities. Like, for example, compassion. The compassion is material and spiritual both. We know from chapter 2 of Bhagavad-gita, chapter 1 also, isn't it? Material compassion and spiritual compassion. So, what did chapter 13 say about jnana? It was said that if any of these qualities are pursued, then these qualities will help you develop transcendental knowledge. Correct? Not all qualities were mentioned, but some qualities were similar. Chapter 13, how many qualities it described? The process of knowledge or the process of Gyan. How many qualities? 15, 18, 26, 22, 20
31 qualities.
in chapter 13. 31 was there, but 31 was somewhere else. In chapter 13, how many?
26, 26,
20, 26 is in this chapter 16.
20.
How many qualities were in chapter 13? 31 was in chapter 12. Such and such devotee is very dear to me. So 31 qualities we mentioned. In chapter 13, how many qualities are mentioned? 20
20.
qualities, right?
20.
20 qualities. Here 26 are given. So if these qualities are used to develop transcendental knowledge, then these qualities become transcendental qualities. Otherwise, in general, they may not be transcendental qualities, all of them. For example, study of the Vedas is always a transcendental activity? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
No.
No, Prabhuji.
No,
No.
no,
In
it
chapter 2,
is
Krishna said, Triguniya Vishaya Veda.
Vishaya Veda.
Nistre Gunyo Bhavajuna. The Vedas has Karma Kanda section also.
Oh.
Right? Isn't it? So, these qualities, in that sense, can be both material and spiritual. However, when it is used for developing transcendental knowledge, then these qualities become transcendental qualities. Then it may help us to become transcendental. Fine. All right. Okay. Now, let's look at this word, which is very important. Very, very important.
Prabhuji, I have a doubt if I may.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, as you explained that traveling in train is somewhat a material quality. But if we are going to
Come
a
on.
work,
I did not say traveling in train is a material
no.
quality.
I mean what you explained. If we are going to pub in that context, but if we are going to a work to earn money, so
To
is
earn
it
money for what?
for a livelihood?
That is sense gratification, isn't it?
But Prabhuji, our livelihood is also important, na? So how will we survive?
But if it is important. In that way, eating food is also important, no?
Mm-hmm.
But if you just eat food not offered to Krishna, what does Krishna say in Bhagavad-gita?
We are eating sin.
Yeah. So then again, it is sense gratification or not?
Yes, yes.
Understood?
Yes, Prabhuji, perfectly. Thank you.
So here the
Prabhuji,
word
can I
comes.
ask one question, please?
Yeah.
That example which Nagarajan Prabhuji gave of the slaughterhouses, I did not understand.
That's material, completely material quality, no tolerance. If let's say someone is standing in the queue, I mean, let's say not tolerance, patience. That person is showing patience, is standing in the queue for 1 hour just to get some piece of meat. Then that patience is material, no?
Okay, I got it.
Isn't it? So that's material. So, um,
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
hmm,
Sorry, one more doubt. Prabhuji, sometimes we see that when in particular situation there is devotee and there is a non-devotee, and we sometimes see that non-devotee, possess more patient. I just took one example, like one quality of patient. So for the non-devotees, people think that how they see this non-devotee have more patience than a devotee. You know.
non-devotee is so calm, does not get
Yes,
agitated, isn't
yes,
it?
yes, exactly. Yeah. So how to understand this thing? Devotee, it is expected that he should be more calm.
So, like for example, if you compare Srila Prabhupada to other sadhus, uh, Srila Prabhupada would use the word like rascal and cats and dogs and all that. So then does it make Srila Prabhupada lesser saintly person than other sadhus who always keep quiet or who are always having a smile on the face and they never get angry? No, right?
No, no.
No. So now a devotee is losing patience. So we have to find the root cause of that. If that losing of patience is because that devotee has some spiritual concern or some spiritual difficulty, then losing that patience is not considered as wrong in that sense,
Yeah.
isn't it? It all depends on all our behavior. It is revolving around what, mentality or attitude we have. What is
Hmm.
going on in our mind?
Hmm.
That's more important. Now, to give you an example, let's say someone is very calm, even seeing the um, animal being slaughtered, because butchers, they are calm. They don't get agitated. They are themselves killing the animal, slaughtering the animal. They don't get agitated. But if you see an animal being slaughtered, will you still stay calm?
No problem. No problem.
So then can we say the butcher's calmness or patience is much better than your calmness?
No, no, absolutely not.
Right? Isn't it? Hmm?
Yeah,
Instead
yes,
of
Prabhuji.
instead of calling that as calmness, you will call that as what? Instead of telling that the butcher is
Being
calm, what will
heartless. Being
being
heartless.
heartless, being
Cruel.
heartless,
Cruelty.
ruthlessly cruel or insensitive. Correct?
Yes, Prabhuji.
That's how it is.
Yeah, so the purpose matter there.
Yes, the purpose matters. The purpose matters. The purpose matters. Hmm.
Yeah, because Prabhuji, actually, I faced some situation in my office. There was some devotee visited from other branch, and we had a dinner with that person, and that person was in the group. He was more, not good at speaking and all. Brutally, criticizing others that these people are non-devotees and criticizing others. But on the other hand, the non-devotees, on other hand, was very appreciative of that devotee. So yeah, for few minutes I got bewildered. Yeah, see, even the non-devotees have some good qualities, but after I realized that for me, associating the devotee is important.
Okay. Fine. All right. So here the word comes in this verse, abhijatasya. It's a very important word, abhijatasya. Prabhupada talks about it. Uh, he says, the word abhijatasya, in reference to one born of transcendental qualities or godly tendencies, is very significant. Hmm.
Moodalasi.
To beget a child
It is
in a
Anaka.
godly atmosphere is known in the Vedas or Vedic scriptures as Garbhadhan Sanskar. If the parents want a child in the godly qualities, they should follow the 10 principles recommended for the social life of the human being. Hmm. So, uh, it's very important that devotees understand this principle of Garbhadhan Sanskar or the 10 principles or 10 sanskars which are mentioned. Uh, and there's a very nice book, actually. Okay, there's a lesson here. With so much of prevalence of passion and ignorance in the people's minds, the souls that are getting birth on planet Earth are mostly demoniac these days. Hmm. They're not born with divine qualities. They are mostly born with demoniac qualities, right? And there's mention of Garbhadhan Sanskar here. So there's a very nice book on Garbhadhan Sanskar by Bharat Chandra Das and Mahavir Das. And devotees can read it for knowledge. Very nice book. So Prabhupada says here in Srimad Bhagavatam, the protection of children gives the human form of life its best chance to prepare the way of liberty from material bondage. Such protection of children begins from the very day of begetting a child by the purificatory process of Garbhadhan Sanskar, the beginning of pure life. So, a lot should be known by any man or woman who are getting married and thinking of procreating a child, begetting a child, about this whole process of sanskars. Very important. Unfortunately, though this knowledge used to be somewhat prevalent in society some decades ago or 50, 60 years ago through the family tradition that was passed down. But at modern times, people hardly know about it. Even devotees don't know about it. So devotees should be aware, very much aware, and should also tell others about it. Very important. Because I have seen, I mean, in my own experience, so many devotees, they complain, about their child, that our child is not that devotional, or our child is not the way we expected, or so and so and blah and blah. And, then, of course, it's not necessarily true that if you do Garbhadan and all that, your child will be exactly the way you expect. But at least that's your dharma, or that's something which is to be done as a matter of duty. So if there is no awareness about it, how would people do something like that? Isn't it? There should be awareness. There should be knowledge about it. So that proper kind of souls are attracted in our family and they get birth. Mm. Otherwise, it becomes a big difficulty later on managing them. Managing just one child becomes such a headache. Then, especially if the natural value system of that child doesn't match with the value system of the parents, and the parents want to be devotees or are devotees, and the child doesn't want to be, isn't it? Correct. So this is something very important, very, very important. And it's important that the devotees should read this book, at least know about it. Some people think it's okay, it doesn't matter. After all, because we are chanting Hare Krishna, naturally the child that will be born will be a devotee only. Not necessarily true. Not necessarily true, isn't it? So, in fact, it is said in Kali Yuga, demons will be born in Brahmana families, isn't it? So, if one thinks that, okay, I'm just a Brahmana, so I'll get a good Brahmana soul, a Brahmanical person as a child, not necessarily true. So, this is something very important, very, very important. Very important. Okay, let's read the purport now. Rupanshu Mataji, first.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam. In the beginning of the 15th chapter, the banyan tree of this material world was explained. The extra roots coming out of it were compared to the activities of the living entities, some auspicious, some inauspicious. In the 9th chapter, also the devas or godly and the asuras, the ungodly or demons, were explained. Now, according to Vedic rites, activities in the mode of goodness are considered auspicious for progress on the path of liberation, and such activities are known as Devi Prakriti, transcendental by nature. Those who are situated in the transcendental nature make progress on the path of liberation. For those who are acting in the mode of passion and ignorance, on the other hand, there is no possibility of liberation. Either they will have to remain in this material world as human beings, or they will descend among the species of animals or even lower life forms. In the 16th chapter, the Lord explains both the transcendental nature and its attendant qualities and the demonic nature and its qualities. He also explained the advantages and disadvantages of these qualities. The word abhijatasya in reference to one born of transcendental qualities or godly tendencies is very significant. To beget a child in godly atmosphere is known in the Vedic scriptures as Garbhadhan Sanskara. If the parents want a child in the godly qualities, they should follow the 10 principles recommended for the social life of the human being. In Bhagavad-gita, we have studies also before that sex life for begetting a good child is Krishna himself. Sex life is not condemned, provided the process is used in Krishna consciousness. Those who are in Krishna consciousness at least should not beget children like cats and dogs, but should beget them so that they may become Krishna conscious after birth. That should be the advantage of children born of a father and mother absorbed in Krishna consciousness. The social institution known as Varnashram Dharma, the institution dividing society into 4 divisions of social life and 4 occupational divisions or castes, is not meant to divide human society according to birth. Such divisions are in terms of educational qualification. They are to keep the society in a state of peace and prosperity. The qualities mentioned herein are explained as transcendental qualities meant for making a person progress in spiritual understanding so that he can get liberated from the material world. In the Varnashram institution, the
Thank you,
sannyasi or the
Mataji.
person.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna Prabhuji. And
Okay, so now you see in this chapter, though 26 good qualities are mentioned, divine qualities, it is explained by acharyas that these qualities are also specific to a certain varna or ashram. Some of the qualities should be more prominently present in a particular varna or in a particular ashram. Like talking about the first quality as fearlessness. So here it is said that it should be the quality of a sannyasi. Like that, it's mentioned for different varnas and ashramas. So let's read here for the first one. Ashok Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. In the Varnashma institution, the sannyasi or the person in the renounced order of life is considered to be the head or the spiritual master of all the social statuses and others. A Brahma is considered to be the spiritual master of the 3 sections of a society, namely the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas, and the Shudras. But a sannyasi who is on the top of the institution is considered to be spiritual master of the Brahmanas also. For a sannyasi, the first qualification should be fearlessness. Because a sannyasi has to be alone without any support or guarantee of support, he has simply to depend on the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If one thinks, after I leave my connections, who will protect me? He should not accept the renounced order of life. One must be fully convinced that Krishna, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his localized aspect as Paramatma, is always within, that he is seeing everything and he knows that one intends to do. One must thus have firm conviction that Krishna as Paramatma will take care of his soul surrendered to him. I shall never be alone, one should think. Even if I live in the darkest region of a forest, I shall be accompanied by Krishna and he will give me all protection. That conviction is called abhyam, fearlessness. This state of mind is necessary for a person in the renounced order of life. Then he has to purify his existence. There are so many rules and regulations to be followed in the renounced order of life. Most important of all, a sannyasi is strictly forbidden to have any intimate relationship with a woman. He is even forbidden to talk with a woman in a secluded place. Lord Chaitanya was an ideal sannyasi, and when he was at Puri, his feminine devotees could not even come near to offer their respects. They were advised to bow down before a distant place. This is not a sign of hatred for women as a class, but it is a stricture imposed on the sannyasi not to have close connections with women. One has to follow the rules and regulations of a particular status of life in order to purify his existence. For a sannyasi, intimate relations with women and possession of wealth for sense gratification are strictly forbidden. The ideal sannyasi was Lord Chaitanya himself, and we can learn from his life that he was very strict in regard to women. Although he is considered to be the most liberal incarnation of Godhead, accepting the most fallen conditioned souls, he strictly followed the rules and regulations of the sannyasa order of life in connection with association with women. One of his personal associates, namely Chota Haridas, was associated with Lord Chaitanya along with his other confidential personal associates. But somehow or other, this Chota Haridas looked lustily on a woman, and Lord Chaitanya was so strict that he at once rejected him from the society of his personal associates. Lord Chaitanya said, For a sannyasi or anyone who is aspiring to get out of the clutches of material nature and trying to elevate himself to the spiritual nature and go back home, back to Godhead, for him, looking towards material possessions and women for sense gratification, not even enjoying them, but just looking towards them with such a propensity is so condemned that he better commit suicide before experiencing such illicit desires. So these are the processes for purification. The next item is Gyan
Thank you,
Yoga Vyavasthita.
Prabhuji. Hare
Okay,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So regarding the sannyasi, this quality of abhayam and sattva samshuddhi, that is explained. Fine. Also, then the third quality, jnana yoga vyavasthitihi, that is also for a sannyasi. Alok Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Danvat. The next item is Gyan Yoga Vyavasthiti, being engaged in cultivation of knowledge. Sannyasi life is meant for distributing knowledge to the householders and others who have forgotten their real life of spiritual advancement. A sannyasi is supposed to beg from door to door for his livelihood, but this does not mean that he is a beggar. Humility is also one of the qualities of transcendently situated person. And out of sheer humility, the sannyasi goes from door to door, not exactly for the purpose of begging, but to see the householders and awaken them to Krishna consciousness. This is duty of sannyasi. If he is actually advanced and so ordered by his spiritual master, he should preach Krishna consciousness with logic and understanding. And if one is not so advanced, he should not accept the renounced order of life. But even if one has accepted the renounced order of life without sufficient knowledge, he should engage himself fully in hearing from a bona fide spiritual master to cultivate knowledge. A sannyasi or one in the renounced order of life must be situated in fearlessness, sattva samusiddhi, purity, and jnana yoga, knowledge. The next item is charity. Charity is meant for the householders. The householder should earn a livelihood by an honorable means and spend 50% of their income to propagate Krishna consciousness all over the world. Thus, a householder should give in charity to institutional societies that are engaged in the way. Charity should be given to the right receiver. There are different kinds of charity, as will be explained later on. Charity in the moods of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Charity in the mood of goodness is recommended by the scriptures, but charity in the modes of passion, ignorance is not recommended because it is simply waste of money. Charity should be given only to propagate Krishna consciousness all over the world. That is charity in the moods of goodness. Then, as far as dharma, self-control is concerned, it is not only meant for other orders of religious society,
It is
but
Dhamma,
dhamma,
not dharma.
self-control, is concerned. It is not only meant for other order of religious society, but specially meant for the householders. Although he has a wife, a householder should not use his senses for sex life unnecessarily. There are restrictions for householders, even in sex life, which should only be engaged in for the propagation of children. If he does not require children, he should not enjoy sex life with his wife. Modern society enjoys sex life with contraceptives methods or more abominable method to avoid the responsibility of children. This is not in the transcendental quality, but is Dominic. If anyone, even if he is householder, want to make progress in spiritual life, he must control his sex life and should not beget a child without the purpose of serving Krishna. If he is able to beget children who will be in Krishna consciousness, one can produce hundreds of children, but without this capacity, one should not indulge only for sense pleasure.
Thank you,
Sacrifice is
Prabhu.
another.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So here now the qualities are being explained for Grihasthas, charity, dana, dhamma, which is self-control, and next is yajna, sacrifice. Nagarajan Prabhuji, please read.
Hare Krishna. Sacrifice is another item to be performed by the householders because sacrifices require a large amount of money. Those in other orders of life, namely Brahmacharya, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa, have no money. They live by begging. So, performance of different types of sacrifice is meant for the householders. They should perform Agnihotra sacrifices as enjoined in the Vedic literature. But such sacrifices at the present moment are very expensive, and it is not possible for any householder to perform them. The best sacrifice recommended in this age is called Sankirtana Yajna. This Sankirtana Yajna, the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is the best and most inexpensive sacrifice. Everyone can adopt it and derive benefit. So these three items, namely charity, sense control, and performance of sacrifices, are meant for the householders. Then Swadhyay, Vedic study, is meant for Brahmacharya or student life. Brahmacharis should have no connection with women. They should live a life of celibacy and engage the mind in the study of Vedic literature for cultivation of spiritual knowledge. This is called Swadhyaya. Tapas or austerity is especially meant for the retired life. One should not remain a householder throughout his whole life. He must always remember that there are 4 divisions of life: Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. So, after Grahastha, householder life, one should retire. If one lives for 100 years, he should spend 25 years in the student life, 25 years in householder life, 25 years in retired life, and 25 in the renounced order of life. These are the regulations of Vedic religion discipline. A man retired from household life must practice austerities of the body, mind, and tongue. That is tapasya. The entire Varnashram Dharma society is meant for tapasya. Without tapasya or austerity, no human being can get liberation. The theory that there is no need of austerity in life, that one can go on speculating and everything will be nice, is recommended neither in the Vedic literature nor in Bhagavad-gita. Such theories are manufactured by show bottle spiritualists who are trying to gather more followers. If there are restrictions, rules, and regulations, people will not become attracted. Therefore, those who want followers in the name of religion just to have a show only don't restrict the lives of their students, nor their own lives. But the method is not approved by the Vedas. As far as the Brahmanical
Thank
quality
you.
of
Hare
Correct.
Krishna. So here we came to know about the qualities of brahmachari and as well as the vanaprasthi. Now there will be description of the qualities of a brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, and shudra. Any questions so far? What we have read?
Prabhuji, a person is born, Abhijata sin is these divine qualities are already present in the person.
Yes, born with means already present. Is already present, or at least has the capacity to develop them. Is already a very fertile ground in which these qualities can easily develop because it has a nature. See, to be able to develop these qualities, you need to have that kind of inclination. If you don't have inclination, how will you cultivate? So, abhijatasya means you're born with such tendencies. Sanskar means this only, creating a tendency. Creating a tendency towards certain direction. That's called sanskar. So he's born with those qualities.
And only these qualities will help to develop transcendental knowledge.
Sorry?
Only these qualities will help to develop transcendental knowledge.
Yes, of course. If we don't have these qualities, how will we develop transcendental knowledge? Not possible. Next paragraph. Vaiji Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. As far as the Brahmanical quality of simplicity is concerned, Not only should a particular order of life follow this principle, but every member, be he in the brahmachari ashram, grahastha ashram, vanaprastha ashram, or sannyasa ashram, one should be very simple and straightforward. Ahimsa means not arresting the progressive life of any living entity. One should not think that since the spirit spark is never killed, even after the killing of the body, there is no harm in killing animals for sense gratification. People are now addicted to eating animals in spite of having an ample supply of grains, fruits, and milk. There is no necessity for animal killing. This injunction is for everyone. When there is no alternative, one may kill an animal, but it should be offered in sacrifice. At any rate, when there is an ample food supply for humanity, persons who are desiring to make advancement in spiritual realization should not commit violence to animals. Real ahimsa means not checking anyone's progressive life. The animals are also making progress in their evolutionary life by transmigrating from one category of animal life to another. If a particular animal is killed, then his progress is checked. If an animal is staying in a particular body for so many days or so many years and is untimely killed, then he has to come back again in that form of life to complete the remaining days in order to be promoted to another species of life. So their progress should not be checked simply to satisfy one's palate. This is called ahimsa. Satyam, this word means that one should not distort the truth for some personal interest. In Vedic literature, there are some difficult passages, but the meaning of the purpose should be learned from a bona fide spiritual master. That is the process for understanding the Vedas. Shruti means that one should hear from the authority. One should not construe some interpretation for his personal interest. There are so many commentaries of Bhagavad-gita that misinterpret the original text. The real import of the word should be presented, and that should be learned from a bona fide spiritual master. Akrodha means to check anger. Even if there is provocation, one should be tolerant. For once one becomes angry, his whole body becomes polluted. Anger is a product of the mode of passion and lust. So one who is transcendently situated should check himself from anger. Apaishonam means that one should not find fault with others or correct them unnecessarily. Of course, to call a thief is not fault finding, but to call an honest person a thief is very much offensive for one who is making advancement in spiritual life. Ari means that one should be very modest and must not perform some act which is abominable. Achapalam, determination, means that one should not be agitated or frustrated in some attempt. There may be failure in some attempt, but one should not be sorry for that. He should make progress with patience and determination. The word tejas used here is meant for the Kshatriyas. The Kshatriyas should always be very strong to be able to give protection to the weak. They should not pose themselves as non-violent. If violence is required, they must exhibit it. But a person who is able to curb down his enemy may, under certain conditions, show forgiveness. He may excuse minor offenses. Saucham means cleanliness, not only in mind and body, but in one's dealings also. It is especially meant for the mercantile people who should not deal in the black market. Nati manita, not expecting honor, applies to the Shudras, the worker class, which are considered, according to Vedic injunctions, to be the lowest of the four classes. They should not be puffed up with unnecessary prestige or honor and should remain in their own status. It is the duty of the Shudras to offer respect to the highest class for the upkeep of the special order. All these qualifications mentioned are transcendental qualities. They should be cultivated according to the different statuses of social and occupational order. The purpose is that even though material conditions are miserable, if these qualities are developed by practice by all classes of men, then gradually it is possible to rise to the highest platform of transcendental realization. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments on this?
Prabhuji, in this, it is written that if some animal killed, again the animal will take birth to complete its cycle. Is it so, Prabhu? Because somewhere
Yes.
we have read that if we kill means the animal will take birth as a human being and we will take birth as an animal.
Well, that animal will do take birth as human being sometime later.
Okay.
But if that jiva had to be in the body of, let's say, a cow for X number of years, and it was not allowed to stay for that many years, then will have to take birth again to cover up the balance amount of time.
Okay.
Then eventually, as the jiva evolves, will take a human birth again someday.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Sadhu Pranam. Prabhuji, it's written in the last paragraph that all these 26 qualities, though it belongs to the social and occupational order, might begin as a material quality only. But gradually, when we practice into spiritual or transcendental qualities, then only this transition will be very gradual, Prabhuji, generally in all these social and occupational order.
How is Where is it written, Mataji? What you are reading?
Last paragraph of this
All these
page.
qualities mentioned are transcendental qualities, right? They should be cultivated according to the different statuses of social and occupational order.
Yeah.
So nowhere it's mentioned here by Prabhupada that these are material qualities. The purport is that even though material conditions are miserable,
Yeah.
if these qualities are developed by practice. So what is being said is, because material conditions are miserable, it's difficult to practice these qualities.
Okay.
It's difficult. Mm.
Okay. Thank you.
By all paths, then gradually it is possible to rise to the highest platform, transcendental realization.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, I understood the other. Thank you.
Any other question?
Prabhuji.
Yeah, Prabhuji, Prabhuji, this the qualities which this is talking about born of, right? So, which means these entities would have worked on these and in the previous births and then are taking birth, or how do we understand this? That they are born of transcendental qualities?
Yeah. Either they had it from the previous life, or they can also be developed by practice. Either ways.
Okay.
You're born as a good person, or you become a good person by association.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I had a question regarding this point. Nati Marita, for example, not expecting honor. It just,
Yes.
Prabhupada explained that it specifically applies to the Shudras. Isn't it applicable to everybody, Prabhuji, whichever, Varna or ashram that we belong to?
Sorry?
Wouldn't this quality, although Prabhupada has mentioned that it is applicable to the Shudras or the worker class, isn't this quality applicable to everybody?
Yeah, it is applicable to everybody.
So all
But
these, is it possible for us to strive to acquire all these 26 qualities, or do we become actually, depending on the class and the ashram, is it okay if we just,
it
get
depends
some of
on
these
how
qualities?
it depends on how you pursue them. Either if you pursue them in this way that you belong to a certain varna or ashram, and that's why let me focus on one of these qualities. Then also that is one way through the, like for example, we can make spiritual development either through following the varnashram rules and regulations, or we can make spiritual development following the Bhagavad Dharma mark. There are two marks, right? Varnashram Dharma and Bhagavad Dharma. Two paths of spiritual development. So if you want to follow the Varnashram Dharma mark, then I belong to this Varna, I belong to this ashrama. Let me just focus on that. That is also okay, you know. But then you are following Bhagavad Dharma mark, then Bhagavad Dharma mark is what? You're not a Brahmana, you're not a Kshatriya, you're not a Shudra, you're not this, you're not that, you are a Vaishnava. And being a Vaishnava, then a Vaishnava has all the good qualities, irrespective of Varna and Ashram. Right?
Yes, thank you.
As a Vaishnava, then you will work on all the qualities. Okay? It seems
Yes.
my network is very bad today. Are you all able to hear my voice?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, very clear.
Now it's okay, Prabhu. In between, your voice was breaking. Now it's okay.
Okay. I'll just log out and log in again, okay? Just give me a second. I'll make one of it the host and log out and log in again. Okay. Much better now.
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
as you were telling about His Holiness Radha Govind Swami Maharaj's lecture before last week, there's an app on this lectures made named as His Holiness Radha Govind Goswami, where all the lectures of Bhagavad-gita, Bhagavatam, and all the different books of Radha Govind Swami Maharaj are covered, which was developed by one of my friends. So it is only available on iOS currently. So we can hear all the lectures of Radha Govind Swami Maharaj over there in English
Thank
and
you for
Hindi,
the
both
kind
languages.
information. Okay. All right. Any question? Fine. So let's go to the next verse then. Now Lord Krishna starts talking about demoniac qualities. Dambho darbhobhimanascha krodha parushyamev cha ajnanam cha abhijatasya partha sampadamasurim. Pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance. These qualities belong to those of demoniac nature, or son of Tripam. Purport. Ushama Puja.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Sadhana. In this verse, the royal road to hell is described. The demonic want to make a show of religion and advancement in spiritual science, although they do not follow those principles. They are always arrogant or proud in possessing some type of education or so much wealth. They desire to be worshipped by others and demand respectability. although they do not command respect. Over trifles, they become very angry and speak harshly, not gently. They do not know that what should be done and what should not be done. They do everything whimsically, according to their own desire, and they do not recognize any authority. These demonic qualities are taken on by them from the beginning of their bodies in the wombs of their mothers, and they grow, they manifest all these inauspicious qualities. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you. Namaste.
Devi Sampat Vimokshaya Nibandhaya Surimata Ma Shuchaha Sampadam Devim Abhijato Pandava. The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demoniac qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with the divine qualities. Now, why did Lord Krishna have to say to Arjuna, do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with the divine qualities? Why?
He was
Was
born in
Arjuna
a divine dynasty.
was Arjuna thinking that I am born with demoniac qualities?
Arjuna might be thinking that he is doing a war and he's killing the people, his own gurus and others. So might be he is having demoniac qualities. So that is how the Krishna clarified that you are doing your duty, you are doing whatever I am asking you, and you were born in a Daivi family.
Yes. So therefore, Krishna is trying to tell
So
Arjuna
that is why Krishna explained that specifically he had to say to Arjuna that you don't worry, you were born with the divine qualities.
Okay. So he's telling, because Arjuna might think, again, because of his devotee nature, out of his humility, that you see, I'm also getting angry. I'm also thinking of friends and enemies. So perhaps I'm also a demoniac person. But Krishna is saying, no, 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 nothing like that. You are born with divine nature. Because you are born of a divine personality. You are a son of Pandu, right? So you are having a noble birth. Therefore, you are a divine person. Purport. Let's read the purport. Shamana Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Lord Krishna encouraged Arjuna by telling him that he was not born with demonic qualities. His involvement in the fight was not demonic because he was considered the pros and cons. He was considering whether respectable persons such as Bhima and Drona should be killed or not. So he was not acting under the influence of anger, false prestige, or harassment. Therefore, he was not of the quality of the demons. For a Kshatriya, a military man, shooting arrows at the enemy is considered transcendental, and refraining from such a duty is demonic. Therefore, there was no cause for Arjuna to lament. Anyone who performs the regulative principles of the different orders of life is transcendentally situated. Hare Krishna.
द्वौ भूतसर्गौ लोकेऽस्मिन् दैवासुर एव च दैवविस्तरशः प्रोक्त्य asuram pathme shृणु. So Krishna, he only, very briefly mentioned what are the demonic qualities, 6 in them, which are born of ignorance and passion. But he did not describe them totally in detail, isn't it? So he will explain them now, what they are. Fine. So, Baldev Vidyabhushan Prabhu, he mentions that when Krishna says here, Dambha Darpa Abhimana, though they sound to be similar, but they are having little different meanings. Dambha means pride, which means performance of religious duties with the intention of being known as a religious person. That's Dambha. Then Darpa is arrogance, pride in having a good lineage or knowledge. And Abhimana is conceit, thinking that one should be respected. So this is the slight difference. And from Arjuna, there's a good lesson to learn when Krishna is saying you're born of divine nature. Arjuna, don't worry. Humility helps one see within. It enables one to see the smallest of faults in oneself. The purer one gets, the more personal impurity gets intolerable. Right? The purer we get, then the more we become, intolerant towards our own faults. Right? So Srila Prabhupada then explained in a conversation. In Melbourne during his 1975 visit, Srila Prabhupada was asked, how can I become sincere? His answer, how can you become a drunkard? If you want to become a drunkard, you associate with drunkards. If you want to become sincere, associate with these devotees. They are sincere. Okay. So let's read this purport. Uma Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Lord Krishna have assured Arjuna that he was born with the divine qualities, is now describing the demoniac way. The conditioned living entities are divided into two classes in this world. Those who are born with divine qualities follow a regulated life. That is to say, they abide by the injunction in scriptures and by the authorities. One should perform duties in the light of authoritative scripture. This mentality is called divine. One who does not follow the regulative principle as they are laid down in the scriptures and who acts according to his whims is called demoniac or asuric. There is no other criterion but obedience to the regulative principles of scriptures. It is mentioned in Vedic literature that both the demigods and the demons are born of the Prajapati. The only difference is that one class obeys the Vedic injunction and the other does not. Thank you, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
Actually, in the purport, no, it is said there's no other, there's no other means but to follow the regulative principle. That is the fundamental. Like if one who follows the Vedic injunctions, we can consider them as divine. So the so-called all the governments, all this constitution, all this democracy, all this kind of stuff that we follow is all demonic. No, there's nothing divinity in that. All laws, man-made. It's done by us. So
Well, they used to be divine. They used to be divine in the era when the man-made laws matched with God-made laws. But slowly, then God-made laws were put in the back, and man-made laws started, popping up.
But now to introduce the kind of system also comes with a lot of resistance, but some will agree, some will not agree. You are divine, you are following, so why should I follow? I have my way of
Yeah,
living.
yeah,
So
that's the whole problem these days, no? Everyone has his or her own set of rules.
correct.
There's no common platform of what is right, what is wrong. And the modern trend is you have your set of rules, you be happy with that. I have my set of rules and happy with that.
Great, very true.
And that's what being called these days. Stop being judgmental. Don't be so judgmental.
Correct.
Everyone has his or her right to live. And as per that right, I can do anything.
Right to eat.
Hmm?
Yeah, they have a right to eat what they want to eat.
Not just eat whatever, right to eat or right to anything, lifestyle, whatever lifestyle they want to follow. They have their own rights to do that. So that's democracy, actually. Democracy means you have to keep everyone happy. So then you allow whatever they think is fine. And this is all in scriptures mentioned by using the word manodharma,
Mhm.
having your own set of rules. Manodharma,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
Manodharma. You make your own rules, your own value system.
Yeah, we have our own value system. Very true. So, what to speak of samskaras, even marriage also is now become kind of not so, if they are going towards some kind of value system of their own. This is how
First of
things.
all, when you talk about marriage, first of all, the husband and wife should have same value system. Many times it doesn't it? So they don't, and when they don't have the same value system, then first of all, it was just they. Then as the child is born, then the child has a third value system. So then there's a lot of clash on what is right, what is wrong, what is allowed, what is not allowed, what is doable, what is not doable. That is there. Manodharma. Now, just think about it. Is there any person in this world who will say, I'm bad, I'm wrong?
No.
Everyone will say, I'm good, I'm correct, I'm right. But then you have your own definition of what is called right, and I have my own definition of what is called right.
Correct.
Isn't it?
Correct.
So there's no common value system, no common ground. Hmm.
But don't you think the same was there in other yugas also? Why we blame Kali Yuga? It happens in all. Every time the mankind.
It was not there in other yogas so much, Roji. Now we understand from scriptures, right, about the qualities of other yogas and the people of other yogas. Dharma was 100% in Satya Yuga. 100%. Every person followed Dharma strictly. Every person followed. That was Satya Yuga. Hums, it said the society was full of swan-like people.
But the Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu all came in that yuga.
Yeah, that is there. So you always had exceptions, no? When they were killed also, they were punished also. And then when you say swan-like personalities, you're talking about whom? Human beings, no? You're not talking about Rakshasas.
Mhm. Correct.
We are talking about human class. So when you say Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, they are Rakshasas, Daityas, right?
Yes.
So in Kali Yuga, humans are Rakshasas or demoniac.
Correct.
That
Correct.
demoniac nature more in humans. Humans are not like humans. Humans are even worse than animals.
True, Prabhu.
So that is the thing. So yeah, you should read Srimad Bhagavatam. Satya Yoga is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. What qualities people had in Satya Yoga. Dwapar, Treta. It's explained very nicely. It is explained.
Even to follow Vedic injunctions, then proper teachers, proper gurus are not there. No? They
No,
also
it's not there. It's not there. It's some way. It's not that they are not at all there. They are there, but then still a lot of challenges. It's not easy in Kali Yuga to bring purity in everything. It's very difficult. So that's why in Kali Yuga the best thing is you plan of getting out, escaping from material existence completely. It's very difficult, it's very difficult to change the whole system. Very difficult. And if you look at like to give you a simple glimpse at what is happening. Srila Prabhupada came, he started a worldwide mission called iskcon. Now, though we say over the years iskcon has an institute has grown, but can we confidently say that the purity of the members of iskcon collectively has grown over the 50 years? So the effect of Kali Yuga can also be seen in the Transcendental Institute, no?
yes, Prabhu.
Right?
Yes.
Now, if Kali Yuga can so badly affect iskcon and people of iskcon, Kali Yuga is playing nice game with the people who are not devotees.
Right.
I mean, someone who is trying to protect himself or herself from Kali Yuga is having a hard time. So what about those who are totally, I mean, so Kali Yuga is badly ruining the mental status of people. It's true. And therefore, uh, it's a bad situation. Very bad situation. You see how I was just discussing with one devotee a couple of days ago. Mm, the most sinful activity that we can think of that we can think of is abortion and cow slaughter. Even scriptures say these two are the most
Correct.
sinful activities. Right?
Correct.
Cow slaughter, abortion. Now, in comparison to cow slaughter, I think abortion is much more heinous because it's
Yes.
you who are the mother or the father and you are killing your own. No cow kills its calf, but as a mother or father, you kill. People, if let's say they are not married and accidentally the girl became pregnant and she aborts the child, one can say there was some social fear or whatever, isn't it? But married people, well off, they can easily maintain a child, take care of a child. No one will tell them why did you give birth to a child. They are also aborting children. And not because, the society will say, the family will say, oh, it's going to be a girl child, it's going to be a boy child, just because they don't want child now. They want to wait for 4 years or 5 years. They want to settle in their career. They want to settle in this. They want to settle in that. How horrible. So, that and that is happening, isn't it? Very much happening.
Yes.
Very much happening. For no reason. I mean, no genuine reason that I want to abort this child. Just because, oh, we can't have it now. We want to wait for 2 years. Finish. Drop the child. So you can imagine that's the mentality of people, and then can we talk of value system, common grounds, this, that. Yeah, it's called planning of the family. So therefore, it's very bad. Yes, very bad. Okay, let's go to the next slide. It is mentioned in Vedic literature that both the demigods and the demons are born of the Prajapati. Name that Prajapati, if you know.
Kashyap Muni.
Kashyap Muni. Who are the wives?
Diti and
Aditi.
Aditi.
And Aditi.
Kashyap Muni, and from Kashyapa came the name Kashmir. So Kashmir is the area which belonged to Kashyapa Rishi, Kashmir Pandits. So it came from Kashyapa Rishi. That was how it is. Next verse. Pravritting cha nivritting cha janana vidurasuraha na shauchang na pichacharo na satyang teshu vidyate. Those who are demoniac do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither cleanliness nor proper behavior nor truth is found in them. So now Krishna is trying to give the other qualities which a demonic person has in order to help Arjuna better understand that he's not demoniac. So they don't have truthfulness, they don't have cleanliness, they don't have good behavior. Arjuna, was he truthful? Is he being truthful? Yes, very much. Does he know about good behavior, bad behavior? Very much. He knows the etiquettes. He's respecting the elders. He is very concerned that he has to fight with his friends or relatives and he doesn't want to. So he is definitely demonstrating good behavior, whereas Duryodhana was not. Duryodhana was sarcastically speaking to his teachers, pulling their legs, you know. So he's having good behavior, he's truthful, and he's clean in his mind. He's saying in chapter 1 that how can we be happy if we um, get money and at the cost of the death of our relatives? His mind is clean. He's not greedy for wealth, right? So that shows that he's divine absence of these qualities. Like, for example, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, how does it define pure love? His definition of pure love is absence of hate. He says when your heart is not having hate for anyone, then you have pure love. Similarly, absence of bad qualities is what makes one divine. Okay, let's read the purport here. Devesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dhanyavad. In every civilized human society, there is some set of scriptural rules and regulations which is followed from the beginning. Especially among the Aryans, those who adopt the Vedic civilization and who are known as the most advanced civilized peoples, those who do not follow the scriptural injunctions are supposed to be demons. Therefore, it is stated here that the demons do not know the scriptural rules, nor do they have any inclination to follow them. Most of them do not know them, and even if some of them know, they have not the tendency to follow them. They have no faith, nor are they willing to act in terms of the Vedic injunctions. The demons are not clean, either externally or internally. One should always be careful to keep his body clean by bathing, brushing teeth, shaving, changing clothes, etc. As far as internal cleanliness is concerned, one should always remember the holy names of God and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The demons neither like nor follow all these rules for external and internal cleanliness. As for behavior, there are many rules and regulations guiding human behavior, such as the Manu Samhita, which is the law of the human race. Even up to today, those who are Hindu follow the Manu Samhita. Laws of inheritance and other legalities are derived from this book. Now, in the Manu Samhita, it is clearly stated that a woman should not be given freedom. That does not mean that women are to be kept as slaves, but they are like children. Children are not given freedom, but that does not mean that they are kept as slaves. The demons have now neglected such injunctions, and they think that women should be given as much freedom as men. However, this has not improved the social conditions of the world. Actually, a woman should be given protection at every stage of life. She should be given protection by the father in her younger days, by the husband in her youth, and by the grown-up sons in her old age. This is proper social behavior according to the Manu Samhita. But modern education has artificially devised a puffed up concept of womanly life, and therefore marriage is practically now an imagination in human society. Nor is the moral condition of women very good now. The demons therefore do not accept any instruction which is good for society, and because they do not follow the experience of great sages and the rules and regulations laid down by the sages, the social condition of the demonic people is very miserable. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So it said here, pravrittim cha, nivrittim cha. They don't know what should be done, what is not to be done. And they do not have these qualities. Saucham, acharan, and satyam. Right? They don't have. Why they do not have good qualities? Or if they do not have good qualities, don't they fear punishment from God? So what is their viewpoint about the about the creation, about God, about laws? So that is given in the next verse. What do they think? What is their ideology or philosophy? Asatyam apratishthante jagat ahur anishwaram aparaspara sambhutam kim anyad kam ahetukam. So it's mentioned what they think. They say that this world is unreal with no foundation, no God in control. They say it is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust. purport. Neha Mataji.
Hare Krishna. The demoniac conclude that the world is phantasmagoria. There is no cause and effect, no controller, no purpose. Everything is unreal. They say that this cosmic manifestation arises due to chance material actions and reactions. They do not think that the world was created by God for a certain purpose. They have their own theory that the world has come about in its own way and that there is no reason to believe that there is a God behind it. For them, there is no difference between spirit and matter, and they do not accept the supreme spirit. Everything is matter only, and the whole cosmos is supposed to be a mass of ignorance. According to them, everything is void, and whatever manifestation exists is due to our ignorance in perception. They take it for granted that all manifestation of diversity is a display of ignorance. Just as in a dream, we may create so many things which actually have no existence. Then, when we are awake, we shall see that everything is simply a dream. But factually, although the demons say that life is a dream, they are very expert in enjoying this dream. And so, instead of acquiring knowledge, they become more and more implicated in their dreamland. They conclude that as a child is simply the result of sexual intercourse between man and woman, this world is born without any soul. For them, it is only a combination of matter that has produced the living entities, and there is no question of the existence of the soul. As many living creatures come out from perspiration, as many living creatures come out from perspiration and from a dead body without any cause, the whole living world has come out of the material combinations of the cosmic manifestation. Therefore, material nature is the cause of this manifestation, and there is no other cause. They do. Prabhuji, could you please scroll? They do not believe in the words of Krishna in Bhagavad-gita. Maya dhyakshena prakriti suyate sa characharam. Under my direction, the whole material world is moving. In other words, among the demons, there is no perfect knowledge of the creation of the world. Every one of them has some particular theory of his own. According to them, one interpretation of the scriptures is as good as another, for they do not believe in a standard understanding of the scriptural injunctions. Hare Krishna, thank you.
So these are the different ideologies. Asatyam means the world is false. Who thinks so? The impersonal philosophers. Apratishtham, it is without any foundation. Who thinks so? The evolutionists. Anishwaram, no God in control. Who thinks so? The atheistic people. Aparaspara sambhutam, has arisen without any cause. Who thinks so? The Buddhists. Kama Haitukam, produce of sex, desire, or lust. Who thinks so? The Charvakas, materialistic people. So these are different kinds of thinking, or which has been prevalent for all times. And these kinds of people have always existed. In modern times, we may give them different names, but these ideologies have been present since ever. Fine. Now, some more information will be given about these demonic people in the other verses coming forth. But we'll stop here. Any questions or comments? We take one more verse. Okay, let's do one more verse. We'll do one more. 16.9. Let's do 16.9. Yeah, I'll take your question. We'll do 16.9 also.
Okay.
एतां दृष्टिम् अवष्टभ्य नष्टा मनो नष्टात्मानोऽल्पबुद्धयः प्रभवन्ति उग्रकर्माणः क्षयाय जगतो हिताः. Following such conclusions, the demoniac, who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence, engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. Ugra karmanaha. Because they don't have intelligence and they are lost in their own thinking, they engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. Hmm. Yes, Swati Mataji, read the purport, please.
Hare Krishna. The demonic are engaged in activities that will lead the world to destruction. The Lord states here that they are less intelligent. The materialistic who have no concept of God think that they are advancing. But according to Bhagavad-gita, they are unintelligent and devoid of all sense. They try to enjoy this material world to the utmost limit and therefore always engage in inventing something for sense gratification. Such materialistic inventions are considered to be advancement of human civilization. But the result is that people grow more and more violent and more cruel, cruel to animals and cruel to other human beings. They have no idea how to behave towards one another. Animal killing is very prominent amongst Germanic people. Such people are considered the enemies of the world because ultimately they will invent or create something which will bring destruction to all. Indirectly, this verse anticipates the invention of nuclear weapons of which the whole world is today very proud. At any moment, war may take place, and this atomic weapons may create havoc. Such things are created solely for the destruction of the world, and this is indicated here. Due to godlessness, such weapons are invented in human society. They are not meant for the peace and prosperity of the world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ugra karma means what? It's explained here by Prabhupada in other places also. Painful, distressful, horrible, and atrocious activities. So, can we list all the modern day human activities that fall in the category of Ugra karma?
Yes.
Examples, please. Corporate activities.
Child labor.
Hmm?
Child labor.
Sorry?
All the activities of
Child.
nuclear bomb.
Nuclear weapons or nuclear technology, war, animal killing, technological advancement, slaughterhouses,
Manufacturing
breweries,
sectors.
cigarette factories, industries, nightclubs, petroleum industry, coal industry, right? Trade. It's all as child labor. So much of Ugra karma. Ugra karma, yes. Traveling
Nowadays,
local trains in Mumbai. It's Ugra karma. And making tunnels in the mountains. That's Ugra karma. Mining, Ugra karma. Right. So that's all Ugra karma, yes. Now, if you think of Kali Yuga lifestyle, there is no lifestyle without Ugra karma. Life stops without Ugra karma. So there's no life.
Prabhuji, at the same time, they also say that before digging a tunnel, we have prayed to the god or the goddess there. We have made a small temple and asked for forgiveness. How do we understand that, Prabhuji?
Yeah, that may be in some places where they believe in God, not all places. No? So in some places, yes, definitely it is true. In all the mountain areas, you find temples of Devi for protection, seeking protection. You know, so it's true. They do pray, but that is because they have some theistic mentality that God is their supreme controller. But it is Ugrafar, no doubt about it.
Prabhu, nowadays addiction of drugs in the colleges, schools are happening. That is also like.
All right. So, any questions you have?
Roja Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mr.
The nature of a particular person doesn't really change, right? It just can be a little bit adjusted by bringing in qualities, but someone is having Kshatriya nature, the Kshatriya nature remaining, correct? No?
Yes.
That, so
Yes. Difficult to
if
change.
one born with a particular nature almost lives with that nature almost through the life. We can't change.
Yes, very difficult to change. Very difficult. Very difficult. It is true. See, you can say there is a base nature and there is something which you have developed over that base nature. So that base nature you have obtained as a prarabdha. That's how your body and mind is made already. So it's very difficult to change. Right? But then how the transformation happens is when you talk about people who are not devotees, we should know that even those who are non-devotees, they talk about transformation, right? Non-devotees also say, I got transformed. But we should know that transformation is also a play of three modes of material nature. Means sometimes goodness started dominating them. So for a period of time, they started developing some good qualities or showing some demonstrating some good qualities. But it's a play of three modes. Right? However, when we talk about a person who has changed because of devotional, contact, that is because Bhakti Shakti or devotional energy has permeated that person. And that Bhakti Shakti is making that demon also a devotee now or a Vaishnava. But if that Bhakti Shakti goes away, then that person will again become demoniac. Right? So base nature does not change. It's just that Bhakti Shakti, the devotional energy is controlling that person. So you see a different person coming out or a different person you look at.
Correct.
Once that Bhakti Shakti is gone, you are again the same black crow.
Correct. Correct.
Again the same black crow. Therefore, devotees should know that if I am good because I'm in contact with bhakti. As long as I'm in contact, it has some goodness. It's not my property or my wealth, sampatti. It's because I'm in touch with bhakti, I'm borrowing that quality. It's a borrowed quality. But yes, if we stay in contact with bhakti for a long period of time, then that change will happen also. Because bhakti can change prarabdha. It can also change your base nature, but after a long time, for a long period of time, it can change your prarabdha. Otherwise, no. Otherwise, Prabhupada mentions in one of the purpose, because of your karma, you're born as a saint or you're born as a thief. So, being born as a saint is also a karma only, actually, which means some good things you did in the past, so you are in now mode of goodness. saintly in nature.
Very true, bro. And we can experience that when we really chant nicely. Sometimes I feel my nature can be like this also, so soft and so calm. I mean, and if we don't do the chanting proper, that time the nature is different. The reaction
Yeah,
to situation is.
yeah, true. Very true.
Correct.
Very true.
Thank you, bro.
Swanti Mataji, do you have a question? Your hand is up. Vrindarani Mataji?
Prabhuji, you're talking about abortion, no? The people who do abortion, but even if doctor who does abortion will be involved in this.
Of course. Of course. Nowadays, it's a big business. It's a big business, no? It's a big business. What to speak of abortion? Delivering a child. The child can be born in a normal way, or you do cesarean. So most of the doctors will say, do cesarean. That's safe, less painful. But cesarean means more money. So then it's good for them, no? They make more money. And if they just have to tell a lie, if you don't do cesarean, either the child will die or the mother will die. So you save both. So fine, you pay some thousands of rupees extra to save the child or save the mother. Who will say no? Who will say no? So they will also promote, very much they will promote cesarean. Yes, Vrindarani Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I have question regarding verse 7. It said that demoniac person, they don't know what to do and what not to do. Is this refers only for today demons? Because in the past demons were learned, like Duryodhana, Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa. They did know the rules, but didn't follow them.
No, it's not like that. They also did not know. Knowing here means following. Simple. It's not just that you know. Knowing also means following. So they do not know what is to be done, what is not to be done. What it means is at that moment, how should I act? They don't know. What should be done, what should not be done. They don't know. At this moment, how should I act? They don't know. Because the intelligence is clouded. And we also become demoniac, no, in that sense, because we also sometimes don't know. So that means demoniac energy is influencing us. That cloudiness is there. So we should know demonic energy is influencing us.
Okay, thank you.
Bye, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. It is based on the discussion that Sadharinan Prabhuji raised. So to some extent, bhakti can help in changing a person's swabhav or nature. But 15.4 last line, it just talked about, even the demoniac qualities can be abhijatasya. So my question is, Prabhuji, the 10 sanskars that you mentioned, so the child may be born with all these demoniac qualities, but suppose the parents actually do all these sanskars properly, wouldn't that also have an effect in changing the child's nature? just like bhakti, at least to some
But when you are
extent.
saying about sanskar, Garbhadhan sanskar is a sanskar done before the child is born. You
Right,
know
but
this?
after that, so you mean to say that if the sanskar is actually done, then you may not get a child with so much of demoniac quality there.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
But
Because when you
later
say
on,
Garbhadhan,
okay. So the soul that comes
Garbhadhan
in
is
would be
not after
somebody.
the child is born,
Yes,
right from the
yes,
beginning, right? Even the
right,
inception,
right,
even the conception is not done. That's called Garbhadhan
right,
sanskar.
right.
So you are setting a good grounds for it. So then there's
Okay,
good chances the child will be born nice. Now let's say you have not done Garbhadhan sanskar and you're doing other sanskars. Definitely the sanskars will have an effect. But once you already have a defective piece,
right. Changing it will be a little bit difficult, or rectifying it will
difficult,
be a little. Yes.
difficult. Now we
Okay.
can't say people cannot change. People can definitely change. There is certainly hope. Like Srila Prabhupada was on Jaladuta ship. What was he saying? Actually, looking at these people full of Rajaguna and Tamaguna, there is no hope. Looking at their lifestyle, there is no hope. But Krishna, I have faith on holy name and the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. Right, isn't it? So
Yes.
even, you see, even people like, what to speak of you and me, personalities like Prabhupada feel hopeless sometimes looking at our situation. That what hope these people have. And then still they say, no, holy name is there, Srimad Bhagavatam is there, maybe some hope is there. So change is always there, possibility is there, but then it gets more difficult. It's very much difficult. It's very difficult to change a demoniac person to into a devotee. Very difficult. I mean, you will have to then also pay that much price, no? You'll have to also work that hard.
But
You have to
vice
also
versa
work
is
that.
easy. Fall down can happen anytime once we are carelessness we show.
Yeah, well, not necessarily true, Prabhu, because if you are also pure, you will also be very careful. Of course, accidents can happen, definitely, but then it's not that easy also. If it's not that just, vice versa is true what you're saying, but that also doesn't happen easily. So hope is there. Hope is the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hope is the holy name. That is a hope. Gunagrahi Gaurankit.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam. Prabhuji, this lower nature, whatever we have seen today, so those lower nature is there any way to stop those, or it can be used for a better purpose?
How can you use it for better purpose?
Just
I
like we
mean,
heard about
there is
in
certain
the
ways
case
you
of,
can use it. Like anger, you can use against a
yeah.
non-devotee. That way, but then, I mean, that's okay. That's how you dovetail it. Yes, to some extent. But then that anger is again a transcendental anger.
Yeah, could you please just elaborate here, Prabhuji? Because some qualities are there, the transcendental anger, even in pure devotees, we saw in many pastimes. Although they are showing apparently it's getting angry, but ultimately it's getting beneficial to that living being only. So how, although apparently it looks like a what you call lower nature only, but is getting purified, or in what way it gets affected?
That's again the same thing. What is the basis? What is the basis of demonstration of such quality? Who is
Okay,
demonstrating that quality? What is the basis of demonstration of that quality? Right? That is there. See, I'll tell you something which we should know. Because we all are practicing Krishna consciousness. We may not be pure, but because we are trying to be pure, or at least we desire to be pure, or at least we have great appreciation for those who are pure and a pure life. Therefore, when we hear about bad qualities, demonic qualities, uh, we, sometimes feel just like Arjuna was feeling. I also have a lot of them. I also get angry. I also get proud. I'm also demoniac sometimes. So the impact this knowledge is having on you is different from the impact this knowledge will have on people who are demoniac.
Right, Prabhuji.
Because we, even if let's say we are demoniac, at least we have great appreciation for those who are not demoniac. At least we think, okay, that's the direction you should move in, right? But those who are truly demoniac, they will uh, they will have great respects for those who are demoniac. They'll say that is nice, that is correct, that's how it should be. What's wrong with that? So practicing devotees are always in this dilemma, and that dilemma is fine. It's okay. That shows that you are okay. You're normal. You are trying to be a devotee. Because if you don't have that dilemma of what is good, what is bad, you cannot be a devotee. That's the difference between Arjuna and Duryodhana. No? Arjuna is thinking, am I right? Am I wrong? Should I fight? Should I not fight? Is Duryodhana thinking? Duryodhana is not thinking. Duryodhana is sure, I should fight. No confusion at all. It's clear, all clear. Lot of clarity is there. But Arjuna is confused. Who is the greatest beholder of dharma as per Mahabharat story? We are not talking about Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When we talk about Mahabharata, who is the beholder of dharma? Who is glorified as dharma personified? Who?
Yudhishthir.
Who? Yudhishthir. But if you read Mahabharata, Yudhishthir is the most confused person.
Right, Prabhuji.
Always in a dilemma, what should be done, what should not be done. Always in dilemma. Others are quite well off. They are okay, okay, this is how. But Yudhishthir, you study, always worried, always tense, always thinking what is right, what is wrong. He is always finding a way which others don't agree with. Why is he having so much of trouble? Because he knows dharma. So, as practicing devotees, they'll always have this dilemma. That's okay. That's fine. That's part of the course. You have devotee. You think about it a lot. Okay, Nehamad.
Prabhuji, here the divine qualities are given to develop the transcendental knowledge. Why are the demoniac qualities also given along with the importance?
By the demonic qualities explained in this chapter, yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
To tell you the
Yes.
difference, no? Tell you the difference. Just like Bhagavad-gita is not just talking about mode of goodness, it's also talking about mode of passion and ignorance. It doesn't mean that Gita is telling us to cultivate passion and ignorance. So, though divine quality should be developed, demonic quality should also be known. That we studied in Ishopanishad, no? Avidyam cha vidyam cha. Complete knowledge means you should know Vidya also, you should know Avidya also. What it is not. Both should be known. That is complete.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, we'll stop here. See you tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki